Hi there, it's Carol with Carolbcrafts. Today we'll be making these adorable note cards or gift card holders, whichever you want. I'm going to make them as gift card holders, but you could just make it as a simple note card if you want. Now we use the Perfectly Plaid bundle, which includes the Perfectly Plaid stamps and the Pine Tree Punch. And for the Christmas cheer right here, we're going to use Itty Bitty Christmas. Now this is project 3 in my Perfectly Plaid class to go. Check out my website www.carolbcrafts.com to see what current class to go kit I'm offering. Now if you don't have the kit, no worries, I will give the dimensions as we go along so that you can make these cards with us. Now you're going to want your cherry cobbler and your shaded spruce ink pads. For adhesives, I've used my glue dots, mini dimensionals, tear and tape, and multi-purpose glue. And then for these, I will want to use scissors and my take your pick tool or any other pointy tool that you have. So there's no die cutting with this, just punches. We'll use our Pine Tree Punch to punch out our trees, and everything else is pre-cut for you. So let's clear this away and we'll get started with our stamping. Now one of these is stamped with the shaded spruce ink and one is stamped with the cherry cobbler ink. And we'll start with stamping. Now I have this set up for rubber stamps because my Christmas itty bitty Christmas stamps are rubber. But if you're using a different stamp to stamp here, if you're using photopolymer, then you would want your this setup, your Stamparatus set up for photopolymer. So I'm going to put this here just so I have to keep that level for me. Now I'm going to find my stamp. I'm going to stamp the Christmas cheer first, and I'm going to do that in the bottom right corner of this piece right here, and I'll show you that piece in just a minute as soon as I find my Christmas cheer. Or you could put happy holidays, season's greetings, any of these, well, any of the one-liners would fit down here, whichever you want to put. So get my Christmas cheer here. Where are you? There you are. Already used it, so the backing's off. And I am going to use my 4x6 window sheet, this plastic sheet that I give you with your first Class to Go kit from me. You want to hang on to that because we'll use it in future Class to Go kits as well. But anything 4x6 thick plastic will work if you don't have the window sheet. So we're going to put this down here, Christmas cheer, kind of right here near the corner, but not too close to the corner because we want to be able to slide our cardstock down there. Let me show you which cardstock you need. This is the kit that you're going to need. It has enough to make both cards. This is what we're going to be stamping on in the front. These are stitched rectangle die cuts from the stitched rectangle dies, framelits. Now this is, which one is this? This is the third largest rectangle, so you would count down 1, 2, 3. That one right there. So that's what I use to cut these. If you want to make more of these, or if you don't have the kit, you'll know where you can find those. Now I'm thinking because this is near the bottom, I probably should put my plastic near the bottom. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I want to be able to slide my card underneath. Sometimes I forget that, so you want to put your plastic towards the bottom. Get my Christmas cheer there. Pick that up. We'll do the cherry cobbler first. So we get that, and we'll ink that up. This is going to show me where it's going to stamp. And then I will take one of my cards, and I want it about 1/8 of an inch from the stitching and about 3/8 of an inch from this edge here, so from that stitching. So 3/8 of an inch from that edge of stitching, 1/8 of an inch from that edge of stitching. And then of course I want it level. When I'm happy, I'll put that on there. I'll ink up my stamp again, but this, I better take my plastic off or it's not going to work. So now I'm going to just stamp that right there on my card. So I have my Christmas cheer. Now I'm going to clean off my red and with the wipe. And I'm going to dry that off and clean off my stamp too. So I'm going to use a microfiber cloth to clean off my plastic. And I could use that cloth on there, but I prefer to use this little scrubby thing from my Stampin' Scrub. I took it off, so out of my Stampin' Scrub. Okay, so now we're going to do the green one. So I put my plastic down here again. Now if you were doing more than one of these, you would want to do all of one color, then come back and do all of the other color. You wouldn't want to have to keep changing it in between. Make sure I have it right, because you know sometimes sometimes I don't. So I'm going to get my shaded spruce out, ink up that stamp, and make my image. Now I'm going to slip the other one, the other die cut card, and be sure not to get ink on it, because it's real easy to do. Again, 1/8 of an inch from the bottom and 3/8 from the side. That'll make sure you leave plenty of room for the other things that have to go on here. So I'm going to remove the plastic, ink up my stamp again, and there we go. I have my Christmas cheer in shaded spruce. Clean that stamp off. Now the Perfectly Plaid stamps are photopolymer, so I'm going to have to switch out and put my handy dandy. I just got the deluxe foam mat. I'm really excited about that. It works awesome, and I can see my magnets kissing over there. So now we have, that's all the stamping we're going to do on the front. Everything else is die cut. Now on the inside we have this piece here that has one says North Pole delivery and one says hope that your busy year comes together in Christmas cheer. So we'll do that one first. That's going to be cherry cobbler. So hoping that your busy year comes together in Christmas cheer. That's up at the top here. We'll need our plastic again. We've cleaned that off and dried it. So down here at the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and pick that stamp up. I'm going to put it towards the bottom. Pick that stamp up. Now this is also from the rectangle dies. So I give you 3 of these in case you have a boo-boo, but this is the second largest long rectangle die. And let me show you if I can find my rectangle dies. So I consider these the regular, and these are the long rectangles. So it would be the second largest, so we would count down 1, 2. And these I'm going to put on a piece of scratch paper. And the reason I'm going to put them on a piece of scratch paper is because they need to go all the way underneath there, and they're too small for me to do it the way I normally do it. So I'm going to put a small piece of adhesive, if I can find my everything's hiding today. Okay, so here's my snail. I'm just going to put a tiny little bit here on the edges like this. Then I'm going to stamp that in cherry cobbler, I think was what we said, for this one. So I'm going to ink that up with some cherry cobbler, and I'm going to make my impression here. And then make sure that stays in the corner because it will slide, because that photopolymer likes to pull your stamp up. Okay, so slide this underneath, make sure it's in the corner like I said, and then line this up, center it inside your stitched box, make sure it's level, and then when you're happy, remove the plastic and ink up your stamp again with the cherry cobbler. And we'll do that again. Okay, so we have our Christmas cheer. And now we're going to do our North Pole delivery, and we're going to do that in the shaded spruce. So I have my plastic clean and dry. I'll get my North Pole delivery stamp. I'll put it down here at the bottom, and I'm going to make sure that doesn't move. I'll pick that up. It might still move, so make sure it stays in the corner. Get the shaded spruce and ink that up. Make your image. Take one of your rectangles, put a little bit of adhesive on it, and then slide it underneath the plastic so you can position it. And that looks pretty good right there. When you're happy where it's at, you're going to put plastic. Now I'm going to put that there because that photopolymer does like to pull it up, so, and I don't want to have a mess, so I'm going to put this aside for now. Ink my stamp up again with my shaded spruce and stamp it down. Pull it up gently so it doesn't get out of position. Okay, so now we have our North Pole delivery. I'll clean that stamp off. Now to stamp our envelopes, I'm going to put this in the corner like this, like we do our plastic. And then I'm going to get my stamp, and I'm just going to place it because we can see through these photopolymer stamps. And when I have it where I want it, I'm going to pick that up, make sure my thing stays in the corner, and I'm going to ink that up with some cherry cobbler. Stamp that down. Pull it up softly so it doesn't move. Looks like it needs another coat. Okay, and now I'm just going to get the other envelope and put that in the corner. Put it down with my magnets. Make sure it's in the corner good, and then I'm going to ink this up again. And then I'm going to clean off this stamp. And we're going to do the same thing with the little pine cone. Let's see if I can find that pine cone that we use. We are going to use this one up here near the tree. That would be this one. We're going to use shaded spruce for that. That's this one here, not the two-step one, but this one up here. And we're just going to put that on the side here, kind of like this, and we're going to do that in shaded spruce. So we'll pick that up. Make sure my envelope's still in the corner. I'm going to ink that up with my shaded spruce. And then I'm going to move this one, put this one in place in the corner, stamp that one with the shaded spruce. So now I'm going to clean up the stamp and move it to the other side, and be sure to dry it good. Dry off my plastic plate too. Now I'm going to put this one on this side right here. So make sure it's down good, held down good, and then I'm going to pick that up, ink that up with some shaded spruce. Okay, those pine cones, and then I'm going to bring the other one back in, and I'm going to stamp it with the pine cone. And that is all of our stamping. Okay, so we're ready to do some punching. I have my 2 inches by 6 inches piece of the plaid paper. This is the wrapped in plaid 6x6 paper, DSP, that's on page 14 of our holiday catalog. We're going to take our pine tree punch and we're going to punch out one on each end, just like this. And then for the tree trunk, I have some early espresso. These are 2 inches by 5.5. We're going to cut out 6 of our pine tree punches from the early espresso. Next, we're going to get our little trees, and we're going to cut off the bottom, the trunk of the trees, that just like this, right along the bottom. Just going to cut these little trunks off of the DSP. We're going to glue these onto the early espresso trees. And that's going to take a minute, so I'll probably fast forward it while we do that. So I have all my trees done. So I want one of each, one of it going on each one of these. So I've separated my cherry cobbler. I have my cherry cobbler and my shaded spruce, and I'll give you the dimensions as we go. So the background of this card is cherry cobbler, and it is a piece cherry cobbler 4 5/8 by 3 1/4. 4 5/8 by 3 1/4. So this is going to go on here. And then we have the shaded spruce, same size, 4 5/8 by 3 1/4, and this is going to go on here. So we'll go ahead and put that on with some snail. So these are going to go on the front of our card, but not quite yet. First we're going to put our gold down here across on the top of each one of these above the Christmas cheer, about 1/8 of an inch from the Christmas cheer. And we want it 1/8 of an inch, so it might be easier to do it upside down like this. So I've got that one done. Now I'm going to do this one here. We'll go ahead and do the inside. We have cherry cobbler and shaded spruce. So what I did, this has stitching around 3 sides. I took the third largest 1, 2, 3 rectangle. I cut out a cherry cobbler, then I cut it in half. That makes this about 1.5 inches. And then I did one in shaded spruce and cut it in half. That's the third largest rectangle. And then I have that. And then where is our, so we have these. These are going to go on top of those. Okay, we'll let those dry and we'll come back to these. We're going to put our thread on there. We have 2 pieces of the linen thread, and let's see, how long are they? They are about 16 inches. Yeah, 16 inches long. So we're going to wrap this around the bottom here. I think it's probably best to put the trees on first though. So let's go ahead and get our trees. So for the trees, for the cherry cobbler, I put the red one, and it may not make a difference to you. I put the red one, then the green one, and then the white one in the center. Like so. And then I can see where I use the glue, there's like little bumps there. I hope that goes away. I hope so. Okay, so and then for the green, I did green, red, and put the white one in the center. I just thought it looked more balanced that way. So for the red goes on the right. For the green goes on the right. So we'll go ahead. Now this one I'm going to put on with mini dimensionals. The other 2 I'm going to put on with glue dots. So let me get my glue dots. And I'm only going to put like 3 glue dots. And twist it off instead of pulling it if it doesn't want to come off. So these are very sticky. About halfway down the gold strip, you're going to put your tree. Make sure that it's level before you push it down. And then we'll do the green one. Put it near the edge of the stitching. Make sure that it's straight. And then we'll do this one with the mini dimensionals. And for the trunk, I'm just going to take from the edge here a piece and cut it about a little bit smaller than the trunk, like that. That will hold up the little trunk. So I'll take those off, and that's just going to go in the center right there, like that. So now we're ready to put our thread on. So you're going to take one of the pieces of the 16-inch linen thread. On the back, you're going to put some snail, about 1 inch of snail on both sides. That gives your ribbon, thread, something to dig into. And we'll start over here just below the tree. You want about 1 inch, enough to dig in there. Bring it around and around again twice, and then you're going to just push that into the adhesive. That's ready to go on the front of one of our cards. So find your little crease there and fold away. Increase your fold with your bone folder. I'm going to use some more snail to put this in place on the front of my card. I'm going to turn this around. Now to put this on, if you didn't want a gift card holder, you could just put that on in there like that and just glue it down, but because I want it to be a gift card holder, I'm going to put this on with some tear and tape. So I'm on as close to the edge as I can get without, you know, going over. I'm going to put my tear and tape down here along the edges, but not just the edges that have stitching. I don't want to put it along the top, because then my card won't fit in. So now I have my tear and tape, and get my little pointy tool out, remove that tape, the backing. So I have to be pretty precise when I put this on, because tear and tape is not forgiving, not like our glue. So we want that about 1/8 of an inch, a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch from the bottom, and then even on the sides. Make sure everything is good and even before you press it down. Okay, so we have that one. Now we're going to do the stars. You'll have a bag of stars here, and as you can see on the front, there's one large one and then two small. Now there is the adhesive backing on the back of these. I put adhesive sheets before I die cut it, so you won't need to worry about adhesive, thank goodness, right? Because how would you even begin to put these on with adhesive? Total nightmare. So I'm going to get my little pointy tool out again. Take your pick tool. I guess I'll start with the big one in the center here. So just go in the back and peel up that backing just like that. And I think it's best to find one of the points and have it pointing down, just like that. And then these two are going to go over here on these little trees, on the side trees. The little ones go on the side trees. And then these others are for the other one that we're going to do. So I'm not going to do this one. You do it exactly the same way, except remember the green goes on the left because it's on the green, and everything else is the same with the twine and everything. So rather than have you watch me do the whole thing for the green, I'll just let you do that on your own. Okay, so I fast forwarded. You should have your red and your green note cards, gift card holders. I hope that you enjoyed making these with me. This is project number 3 in my Perfectly Plaid Class to Go. Check out my website, www.carolbcrafts.com, to see what current Class to Go kit I'm offering. Thanks for watching. Bye now.